Hello and welcome to Peachy Politics. I'm Peachy and I'm here to talk about movies today. So, today in news, Hollywood had a horrible summer. Studio executives point their fingers at Rotten Tomatoes. Attacked by Rotten Tomatoes, Hollywood says the website and its increasingly ubiquitous tomato meter scores are hurting ticket sales. The site's editor says they are simply helping moviegoers. Now, a man by the name of Garrick D. Kennedy replied to this via Twitter saying, "Make better movies, make original movies, make diverse movies, make queer movies, hire more women, people of color, and queer creatives. I can go on," he says. End quote. Now, I don't know about you guys, if you've seen the movies of 2017, but everything he just stated is kind of the problem with, movies this year. A lot of things have been taken over by changing characters' race, gender, or just swapping out entire casts with females or people of specific sexual orientation. I believe personally, instead of pandering like they've been doing, they should focus more on making better movies, making actually original movies, like the person said. However, I believe they should stop pandering because they ended up in this situation because of pandering. Instead of pandering to their fan base, they are pandering to people who do not pay them. They do not see their movies, excluding like a handful of people on YouTube who have to go in order to make an actual review. I believe that they are no longer, in any shape or form, understanding of source material. They'll get their hands on something and just completely destroy it. The most recent example I'd say would be the Death Note movie, where they got their hand on Death Note. Death Note, I understand, is a very, kind of long amount of source material to go over. However, you don't take that source material and immediately turn the character into a ginormous pussy. It does not make any sense. Oh. Also, going on from that, they seem to be trying to create more diversity, to not be seen as bigoted or racist, etc., etc. However, I don't believe that's fair. You see, the thing about that is that people like the characters that they like because they're the characters that they are. Replacing the Human Torch with a black guy just because, and his dad with a black guy just because, but leaving his sister white to have a diverse cast with a woman just because she needs to be the same, it doesn't make any sense. You're gonna have these two characters be different, but this one completely the same. It doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. There's also been the Ghostbusters movie, but that's been torn to shreds from here to Kingdom Come, so I'm not even gonna touch it. And there's many other movies as well this year that have been going over these freaking checklists that these people keep wanting. Hire more people of color, hire more women, hire more or diversity. Because people are doing that, they're ruining the source material or just changing things to change them because they can, because diversity, because they believe it's social justice. They don't understand that people go to movies to get away from these problems. I don't think people notice, but a majority of people in America are white, and we're treated like monsters. It's kind of unfair because they're usually treating us like monsters for either isolated incidents, which are about equal or less than the amount of incidents that happen to white people, or misrepresented as the bad guy. Now, in reference to movies, they're trying to make it more like there needs to be more black movies. There needs to be more people of color movies. There needs to be more gay movies. What you don't understand is that's what has been happening all this year. They've been getting TV shows. They've been getting taking over comedy. They've been taking over cartoons. They've been taking over voice roles. They've been taking over movie roles. They've been completely race swapping and gender swapping certain characters. They've been ruining comics as well, but instead of addressing these issues and saying, okay, we're not going to do this anymore, they're doubling down and just going for it. They're just like, screw it. If we can't have the moral high ground and also be a successful company, then we're just going to have the moral high ground until we can no longer be the entity that made us us. They're just changing everything to be cookie cutter, passable, everyone is happy thing. The thing about movies is that they're supposed to tackle issues, but they're not supposed to shove them down your throat. They're not supposed to be like, hey, look, it's this thing, except it's different. No, it's supposed to be like, here's a problem, here's a protagonist, here's possibly an antagonist, and here's how they overcome that. Or here's how the story plays out. They're treating it more like, here's what we want, and here's what we want to do. But it's got no relevancy, it's not entertaining, and it's gonna make the movie pretty much unwatchable as a result. And if you have a problem with it, well, that's too bad. And I think that's a little unfair to, studios and people who actually want to go watch these movies, because before they even get to go watch them, they're finding out, oh, wait, the movie's gonna do this and pander to this and do all these things I don't like to see in my movies. Well, I'm not gonna support that. The way people are trying to get Hollywood to listen to them at this point is by just not giving them money. They're pirating the movies and just watching them that way if they even want to watch them, or they're just not going to the movies, because not only is the movies getting more expensive as time goes on, it's getting more not worth it. The movies that they go to see nowadays are usually so bad they're good, and even they're barely getting any reaction from the soapbox, so to be. As for everything else, the reason why people are even going to see certain movies now is because they're the movies that don't listen to those tactics, that don't want to be ham-fistedly socially correct. They're the movies that just go out there and be what they want to be. A perfect example would be Deadpool. Hey, there's this guy, he's insane, he likes to kill people, and make witty jokes about it and break the fourth wall, and that's the character, and that's what he's always been, and it's just sort of loosely been touched about his origin. Let's make a movie where it's his origin, and it's all about him. And instead of, changing the character to a point where he's pretty much unrecognizable, they keep him as he is, and he's become a beloved icon because of that. That's what people need to focus on. That's what movie people need to focus on. They need to focus on the characters as they are. They need to stop trying to change them into these things that they're not supposed to be. Well, that's been my piece on the matter, and stay tuned for more Peachy Politics.
Shut your fucking mouth! No problem, Charles. Shut the fuck up, you cunt!